this live. We're gonna work out these kinks right quick.
And music on.
Alright. No. Come back to where you were. Yeah.
Stop touching stuff. What are you doing for? Shut up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's episode of the AgUp World Podcast, Agriculture. I am your host, Teryon Parker, and this is my lovely co-host, Kyeron Simmons. And this week's episode will be featuring Noreen S.
Yes. And always remember that AgUp World is about planting, growing, and harvesting together. And when we talk about planting, growing, and harvesting together, we want to talk about a real legacy to our people. It is King Sunday, Martin Luther King weekend. We're celebrating his birthday. We're celebrating his life, his legacy. And so today we just want to kind of talk about how important it is to leave a legacy. We're talking about planting seeds. What will those seeds turn into? What did you actually plant? When we plant watermelons, we know we're going to have watermelon seeds. We know we're going to get watermelons, right? But what are you doing with your life? What kind of seeds are you planting with your life? And what does that mean? What trees will we be running into? Will there be trees of love, trees of hate, trees of family. What trees are you planting your legacy for right now?
And I think that goes into our reflection as we are entering into Martin Luther King, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, his day is tomorrow. As we and it is sharing a day with the inauguration of our new president, Giles. And so it's just like it's a very stark contrast there of his dream of equality and the
reality of today
of what we have to deal with, those ideas of pessimism and hatred, and just really thinking about how those seeds can be sown as well, being mindful of your impact of the world and even beyond the grave. Dr. King's legacy is continuing to empower us and encourage people. And so when we're thinking about what we want our legacy to be, that's what kind of got me into my field, because yes, an environmental engineer is somebody who is helping the world. I was like, I want to save the world. So I'm gonna clean up the water. I'm gonna fix the air, all those type things. But when it came down to it, like, yeah, that's going to happen in the long run. But if people steady making it worse, then we don't have all of the, infrastructures in place to pass the legislature and all of these things. There's a lot that goes into just making the world a better place. But I know that me personally, my impact that I can see on a day-to-day basis is with my kids and my students and those seeds and having that legacy. People say, oh, you need to have kids so you can have a legacy. Well, I have 100 kids every year. So imagine the impact that I'm having on the community around me. That's what legacy means to me. I'm able to go out into my community and see those same, students on a day-to-day basis. I'm running into them at the store, at the nail shop, at basketball games. And it's literally just, oh, that's my teacher. I'm so happy to see you. And the same thing for my teachers, like they're in the same community. I'll run into them. And so it's just like they have a legacy that they left behind. And I want to leave a legacy on my students as well, something of somebody that they can see as a role model.
It's so important. I mean, You're not, like you said, you're not a mother yet. But again, when we say it takes a village to raise a family, yes, everybody turns into a mother, whether you have children or not. Everybody should turn into a father. Just because a child has been born in our community, in our village, we all need to step up and take part in rearing and helping that seed grow into something beautiful. When I think of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was not a very rich man. A lot of people don't understand that the legacy he built was, he had degrees, yes, and he was a pastor, and so he did have monies coming in. So no, he wasn't poor on the streets, but he did not leave any monies in that fashion to his family. What he did do was leave a legacy to the world. How important is that? So I'm at the Freedom Church, Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was pastor. And one very important thing that we discussed today was that his legacy is way over his lifespan. He didn't quite make 40 years old, and now it's been almost 60 years since his death. And literally, his words, his legacy, the things about nonviolence and coming together as a people still resonate throughout the land, throughout all cultures, and not just Black. And that just shows you how powerful truth and honesty and it just shows you how important truth and honesty is even in the world today. Like she said, we are tasked tomorrow not only with celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday, but we will also be celebrating the inauguration of our new president. Now, how important is that? This is a man who has, people have different opinions about him. But opinions of Martin Luther King is universal. It's the same because he has stayed the same in truth and he walked in that way. That has lasted way longer than his lifespan. So I say that to say, don't get bogged down with one person and, they're foul, bad seed. Just know if we are going forward that you need to plant good seed. My life's work, I've only been in agriculture since about 2019. And I like to thank our guest speaker today for that, helping me to transition into the agriculture world. But before that, for the past 20 years, I have been helping out our people. I used to say it was a burden, but God has given me his compassion for our people, to see them succeed, to see them do well. And so I have dedicated my life into helping people in general. Yes, in our Black culture, I've helped people earn graduate degrees. I've worked in school systems. Frederick Douglass even said, if we build the child, we won't have to repair the adult. Those words are very important as we go on and talk about legacy. What are you doing even in your family? I started some traditions because I can't go back but 2-3 generations with my family tree. I'm not even sure exactly who my father's father was, which would be my great-grandfather. And so for that reason, it was important to me that I start tradition, even in my family. So I started a gathering around Easter to say that, everybody, please, everybody come in. You don't have to bring anything. It's not a potluck. You don't have to donate any money, because I wanted to start again bringing our family together. That is just very important. Your legacy just doesn't end with what you're doing in the world, but what does it look like even in your house? What are you doing to teach your children about how your family is, what it means to have your last name? How important is that? We have to first build ourselves up so we can build each other up. So legacy is very important when we're talking about, again, going forward. What are you going to do with your life? What legacy will you leave? Is it just going to be money? Because that can be spent and it's gone. And people won't value it like you did to earn it. And that's just a reality. The time you spent in earning that money, someone will spend it very quickly and not have even the conscience that you had in going forward with that, with your monies. So, we just want to make sure that as we go into this new year, and we're talking about Martin Luther King, that he left a legacy. And so we know that that is something that will work and is lasting. So you too should leave a legacy as well.
And that makes me think about like what really it means, like even with like when we think about like superstars like Michael Jackson, like are people still going to say your name even when you're gone? Because like they say that you have 2 different lifespans: the time that you're born to the time that you die, and then the time that the last person says your name that's living. And so when you think about that, it's just like, dang, like when I'm gone, are there still people that are going to remember? Because like you said, your great-great-grandfather, you don't know him. So that's just saying, not that he wasn't a great person, but what legacy did he leave for everybody to remember him? And now his memory is gone. Yeah. And so it's like, dang, like who do I really want to be so that like people are still saying my name for years and years and years to come. But that was just our little intro for today, just thinking about reflecting on how to be of service and building up our community and legacy. With that, we're going to highlight a few urban agriculture organizations and people who are making an impact and trying to leave a legacy for the community behind, and just so that we're all able to benefit from those things, because this is Urban Ag Month here on the AgUp Podcast. We want to shout out a few urban farms that are in our local area.
Metro Atlanta urban farms. Anybody in agriculture should be familiar with Mr. Bobby. And he has been around a very long time. I can remember when my kids were small. I have four, and I only had the girls at that time. And we would visit Metro Atlanta urban farms where they were giving out fresh food. They were growing it and passing it out. And so these particular farms that we're mentioning have had a great impact on our community. Metro Atlanta Urban Farms is located in College Park. They operate on a 5-acre facility dedicated to providing affordable, fresh produce. And they grow it right there in that 5-acre lot in College Park, free of pesticides and without synthetic fertilizers. The farm also offers gardening and agricultural training to empower families to feed themselves and foster future generations of urban agriculturalists. So, and I still visit that farm a lot, and they are always teaching, and they're connected to land grant schools. Alcorn State University does a lot of work with Metro Atlanta Urban Farms, and you can again Google Metro Atlanta Urban Farms, and you could go there anytime. Another farm, I'm gonna do this one as well. Truly Living Well, and then you can go back up. Truly Living Well was established by Rashid Nouri, who is also very famous in this urban ag world. Truly Living Well, when Mr. Rashid started, he was aiming to demonstrate urban agriculture's viability and its role in building communities. So it was also a place where you could go rent out raised beds. You could come and volunteer and participate in the everyday activities of their urban ag farm. Truly Living Well is still very vibrant, still located in a couple of communities, and you definitely could go by there and just learn a lot. The center operates in multiple sites in Atlanta. I'm thinking, I know they started in East Point, and I do remember when they was down on Wheat Street. So a lot of people might remember when Wheat Street had that big farm in the middle. It belonged to Rashid. That was one of the first locations established in 2006. But they, again, they offer fresh produce as well, educational programs. And they have some direct community engagement initiatives. So if you live anywhere near a Truly Living Well center, that would be great. And again, Google Truly Living Well to find out exactly where they are and how to contact them. Talk about that.
So Patchwork City Farms was founded in 2010 by Jamila Norman. It's a 1.2-acre urban farm located in Oakland City. That's, my other hometown where I was raised, where my grandmother grew up in the Dixie Hill area, if you're familiar. And they grow organic vegetables, fruits, herbs, and flowers. They're supplying local farmers markets and restaurants. And Jamila is also known as Farmer J, and she has been internationally recognized as an urban farmer and food activist. So we definitely want to give out a shout out to her. They're on Instagram at Patchwork City Farms as well. You can look up their website. And then last but certainly not least, we have our Southeastern African American Farmers Organic Network. It is
a lot of people are probably more familiar with this. If not, get familiar. SAFON.
Right. So it is a network of Black farmers in the southeastern U.S. and U.S. Virgin Islands committed to practicing and advancing ecologically sustainable agriculture. So it focuses on farmer organizing, cultivating connections between farmers, and investing directly into sustainable farms. So if you like to invest, be a part of it, get in the networking opportunity, you can reach out to them at saafon.org. And that is our spiel for our urban ag shout outs for today.
Yeah, and so of course, we are definitely shouting out the Georgia Women in Agriculture Association. They are two based here in Georgia, and again are doing a lot of good work. We are privileged today to have Miss Noreen Whitehead. She is the National Women in Agriculture Association Georgia Chapter Chairperson.
Woman.
Chairwoman. Okay, it's okay to say woman. So yeah, she is and been doing this for a minute. So we are just privileged to have her. And yeah, she's a servant, a leader. She has served as a chairwoman for Georgia Women in Ag Association for over a decade. Her exceptional leadership has been recognized by the House Representative. She has a recognition HR 1341 for fostering the growth and empowerment of women in agriculture throughout the state of Georgia. Noreen works side by side with our Georgia's historically Black colleges and university and government agencies to assist farmers in securing their farm service numbers, assist with financial support, becoming certified in produce safety, accessing new markets for beginning farmers, and she has impacted over 18 of the 169 counties here in Georgia. We're ready to transition, Danny. And so, and again, so when I started in this thing, I wasn't sure when the farmers reached out to me. I've talked about this a number of times. You can go ahead and switch. I've talked about this a number of times, how if it wasn't for Noreen, I don't know where I would be. She literally introduced me to Fort Valley State University. She literally walked me through some things as far as agriculture and the people who are in ag. And so we are fortunate to have Noreen with us today. She began her vision with helping youth to explore careers in agriculture. And that's what I thought her beginning was. So I'm definitely going to let her share with you a little bit about herself. But again, yeah, Noreen has been around and doing this for, again, over a decade. And we are just so fortunate to have her in the studio today. So please welcome, without further ado, Noreen Whitehead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so can you, we got your bio, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Anything that we might not have done that you just didn't put out there on the spiel?
I'm an artist.
You're
a graphic artist.
Oh,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm a seamstress. I sew,
right.
crochet, all the artsy stuff.
Wow. The A. She's the A.
Right.
Okay. It's team arts, agriculture.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's a good one. All the A's.
All the
A.
So how did you get into agriculture in the farming space?
Okay, so I began at my daughter went to a charter school, and they needed a garden manager, and so I did the garden manager. I got help from the community. Haleen, the garden queen, many of you know her. I had her come over to the school to assist us with building that garden. At that time, this was in 2011, actually.
Right, I'm like, how old is your daughter?
She's got great kids, so yeah.
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Oh
do.
wow! So 2011. Wow.
2011.
Okay.
When I helped her with that garden,
Okay.
and then I was actually subbing at her school. So I've
Okay.
always worked with youth.
Okay, educator.
Yes, I'm a youth leader. I've always worked with youth. But it wasn't until I was doing something, I was helping Haleen at her garden, and a call came in, and they needed youth to participate in a symposium, an agriculture symposium.
Okay.
Of course, I didn't know what it was. I just said, I just know I work with youth, and I can bring the youth.
Right.
Right.
So she's handed the phone to me, and that's my first time speaking with our national director, Dr. Tammy Steele. And
Wow.
so she said, can you bring us some youth to it was their fourth symposium.
Oh, wow.
Agriculture symposium. I said, yes, I can bring you some youth. They'll be in uniform. They can usher. They can escort the dignitaries and the legislative people, and the whole works. So we brought the flag bearers. We had a steel drum.
Right.
That's the A.
And they were all,
She's making connections.
She had the A going on. Okay, got
and
the
they were
arts,
all
the
youth.
music.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
they played. The steel band played for the garden party that they had. So at that symposium, that is when I learned about all of the resources in agriculture for the youth and for the farmer. And I said, how come, I'm like, how come this is the first time, that it's passing, I was excited. It excited me. Okay.
Right.
And I said, we need to get this out in the community.
Yeah.
So I'm a community person.
Already.
From the ground up, my mother, I'm from the Bronx, New York.
Okay.
And my mother was the community leader in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Legacy.
Yes.
Legacy.
Yes.
You still, yeah.
She
helped
the young, even today, when I contact those young people, our neighbors, they say, your mother helped me, get my first job. Your mother helped me. They'll tell it. They run down everything that she did.
Yeah.
She took the young people out of their environment and showed them, a better way, a better lifestyle.
Wow. And do you see how even through Noreen's life, how her mother started a legacy of working in the community. And even now, Noreen, without any background, said, hey, as a parent, we do that anyway. Again, it's the village. We got to stand up for the village. And immediately, I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to bring in the parts that I can do. No one said you had to be superwoman or superman when you go into trying to start a legacy somewhere. As simple as I'm going to bring the drums, I'm going to bring the kids, and we're going to go from there. So that's great. So what came after that? You have a life of agriculture now. So what came after the garden club as a parent?
So a couple of years passed, and I did become the chairwoman at that time. So as I was giving our quarterly outreach meetings, the more I did that, the more I learned of the different agencies, the Extension Office, NRCS, FSA, and the colleges, and the programs for our young people, the free summer programs that they could go to at our 22 land grant colleges. And I just started I was subbing in Clayton County at the high school, Monday's Mill, and I just started telling the students there and the teachers as well. They had a greenhouse there, and I said, oh, what are y'all doing there? They said, nothing, it's been sitting there. I said, oh, we gonna do something in there.
Right, we're gonna do something.
That's right.
And
so that's where, and I started the Agri-Teen Club at that high school.
Agri-Teens. Yes.
Agri-Teen Club.
Tell us a little bit more about that. The summer program you said that they offer for children, because we got a lot of kids in urban cities that probably want to branch out into growing their own whatever. So you said
so the USDA has a program called Ag Discovery.
Ag Discovery.
It starts from 7th grade to 12th grade.
Wow. Okay.
And you can go to Hawaii, the Virgin Islands, any of the land grant schools.
Land grant schools.
I like to highlight those two.
Right, because it's a little vacation.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know parents, they're like, well, can we go? No, this is just for the kids.
Wow.
To learn about, I like that because it's taking them out of their environment into a whole new industry.
Wow. That they might not even been exposed to if it wasn't for that.
Exactly.
So,
they're introduced to forestry and insects and animals and
Wow.
there's so many other areas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When you talk about agriculture, people just think that you're just digging in the ground.
Yeah.
But everything we do has something to do with agriculture. The clothes that we wear,
Yeah.
the car that we drive,
Yeah.
everything, the
That's true.
food that we
Everything.
eat, all of that.
The houses that's built.
That's right.
Yeah,
all of that
is agriculture.
is a part of agriculture, but everybody doesn't
Well, connected
think
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
It's not connected like that. So
Yeah.
there was a young lady who was able to be a part of the Agri Team program. I was doing a farmers market. I believe I was at Stonecrest Mall. I think that's where I met her mom. I said, "Look, there's 3 more days left to do this application," and so she took it and she filled it out. I didn't hear about the result until after her daughter had been in the program, applied to the college, and got a scholarship.
Oh,
So
wow.
her mom says she did not have to get any.
Oh, wow.
She didn't have to pay anything.
Wow.
She didn't have to pay anything. So it started with that free summer program.
Mhm.
This is a free summer program.
Well, we
And
like
from
that.
she got scholarships galore. And in fact, this summer she was doing an internship. They got her a car and paid for her room and board. Yes, all of that.
Inquiring minds are listening.
Yes,
Yeah.
and all of that just for listening to and responding, because
Faith without works.
right,
It
because
is. Okay.
this information, giving it out, and
That's it.
and she was the only one I heard that followed through. You have to follow
You
through.
got to follow through. That's so important, Noreen, because we do drop a lot of knowledge and information on people,
Mhm.
and then they, drop. And I want people to understand procrastination means that you are going to get to it.
Mhm.
Okay. If you stop doing something, that's not procrastination. You have literally just put yourself out of the game.
Mhm.
If you procrastinate, that means you are going to get it done, even if it takes the last minute. We're not talking about people like that. We're talking about people who say, oh, 2-3 weeks have gone by and no, I didn't call, and you just left it there. You just dropped the ball. You didn't follow up. How simple is that? Noreen turned one child on to Ag Discovery. Free weekend, it's a free program
Mhm.
at a land grant school. There's a land grant school in every state, every territory, every property that belongs to America. So it's not like you don't have options. And not just for vacation, you want to go somewhere where you can learn. You pick the right school, you can get a 4-year scholarship and go there, get you a degree, and go into a completely different industry that is in everything. IT, we push people, go to information technology, Is that everything? It looks like everything, and yes, it's helping us to speed things up, all of that. But agriculture is in everything. You just can't miss it. So yeah, thank you so much, Noreen, for everything that you have imparted into the teens that you
right.
in your life.
It is very valuable. Like a lot of parents have to understand that there are resources out there for students, and it makes them more competitive on their college applications when they're applying to different schools. If they've been in these programs, if they can, show a portfolio of work or just like whatever research activities they've been in. Because college looks for more than just the grades. They want to see a real well-rounded individual.
Right.
And so if you're out doing things that just was not required of you by your school, that makes you more, like this candidate is somebody who's going to be contributing to the world. Like you're not just getting our money just to go on and do whatever, but you're actually, doing community service. You're actually, being involved in things that are helping the planet. And so it is very important that we do reach out and take advantage of these opportunities, because I can attest to being somebody who grew up in Atlanta and was able to travel outside of the country and go to Australia. And that was like in 8th grade.
8th grade.
Yeah, at summer of 8th grade. And that just opened my horizons completely, just to be able to see, that there are different people. Like everybody don't live like this.
Yeah.
It's different people
Okay.
in different world. They eat different stuff on their burgers. Like it's literally different nuances and things. Like, but we all have the same, overall understanding of like how people want to be treated and just the level of respect. But it's just like seeing different places. It allows you to open your mind and understand that yes, it's okay to be different because you might not fit in here, but you can fit in somewhere else across the world and it'd be perfectly fine. Just, you have to really experience it to even know what you don't know. But I think that a lot of our kids, they're just, so their brains are constricted because they haven't been open to those different experiences of seeing new things. And so your work is very much appreciated. We do, like I said, the youth, they need it. And yeah, like you said about the free information though, like acting on that. Yeah, we're in the TikTok age, so all that free information people get on TikTok and still don't act on it. It's like you got they didn't gave you step by step what to do, but you still ain't doing it. So like who's to blame at that point? But we're gonna say that for another day.
Right, because you just see how important it is,
Yeah.
the work that you're doing, even if you don't reach them all, but even
Right.
just that one that took it and ran with it.
And
We talked
took
about
it.
that, about vision last weekend. And again, taking the vision, writing it, making it plain so someone can run with it. And I think you do an excellent job. We also call her the farm coach because she just does an excellent job again of just relaying the information, getting the resources to you, connecting you, taking those extra steps, to make sure that you understand that you completed your application, that you show up at the meeting, that you are recognized. I have so much great things to say about Noreen, but we gonna go to the next question.
So what does your day-to-day look like, like being the chairwoman of the National Women in Ag
Georgia chapter? Yeah.
Yes. So there's lots of activity. There's lots of calls that come in. We just completed a project, the vegetable production, where we partnered with UGA and also Fort Valley State University. And I remember the first meeting we had there, and we got there, and after we did our outreach and told people, look, you need to come to Fort Valley. We're gonna tell you all about, the resources that you have at your fingertips. And we got there, and the room was packed.
Wow.
Dr. Brown, he was like, "You brought all these people in."
Okay, Dr. James Brown.
We know Dr. Brown. We know that.
Yeah, at Fort Valley.
I don't think he
was so
thought
excited.
that many people would come.
Right.
And it was a packed out room, and I was really excited and really happy that we were able to bring potential farmers, new beginning farmers to Fort Valley.
Wow.
Okay. So basically, like you're just connecting people to bringing people to the water.
Exactly.
So you can't make them drink, but you can bring them to the water. And so that's a beautiful thing.
Here's the resources for you at your fingertips.
At your fingertips.
Whatever
At your
you need.
fingertips.
Okay.
Yes.
So with that, what is like one of your greatest accomplishments, or like some of your greatest accomplishments that like your highlight reels of
Moments.
Yeah.
You've been doing this over a decade. Do you have like, moments? We'd love to hear. Yeah, sure.
Well,
You got some goodies. She brought goodies with her.
yeah. So it's been the 3 years is when I really dug into it, and in 21, that's when we did our beginner farmer program.
Yeah, Beginner Farmer
And-
Rancher Development Program. It's a
Right.
grant that she earned. Okay, again, due diligence.
And these ladies, I mean, they really. So we have new farm. I am proud to know that there are new farmers on the ground, just pumping it out, doing what they're putting up their high tunnels and getting in programs that are being offered, the Pioneers program, and getting their MBEs, and because they learned about opportunities and they took it.
They drank at the fountain.
Exactly.
They went ahead and
Exactly.
drank. Okay. That's what we
And
like.
so I'm happy about that. We've done a number of things. We've put up we didn't put up the tunnel, but we put the plastic on it. It's a lot of measurement. You have to be really accurate, put it in the wiggle wire, and we learned all about that. So I think we can, run with that. And then we had the opportunity to harvest some hemp flower.
Industrial hemp. Cannabis is illegal in Georgia. We're growing industrial hemp though.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's great. I know they love that.
Harvested the flower. Did
smell real good.
Take it to the processing, or you just like
no? We just harvested for the group, and we just did the harvesting, and that was a good opportunity to just touch the plant.
Yes. Cultivation is not easy, and when you even hear those words, it means taking, digging in the soil.
You have to plant the seed, let it grow, and then the harvest was the last step. So y'all got to be on the end. But
you always need help when you're harvesting, because
you have to get out the ground fast before it goes.
And it's like 6 feet tall plants. I mean, literally, like you have to hold them like this. That hemp harvesting is nothing to play with. Those we see flowers, and we hear about flowers and little grams and all of that, but it comes out as a tree. You're like, OMG, I got a tree of hemp.
Tree plants. Yeah, that's a lot.
And she was able to, while we were on working with AgriUnity and the hemp, she was there as well when we worked on the 5-acre industrial hemp farm in Metter. And so she was part of the harvesting.
Right.
As well. And the cultivating. I almost forgot. And so in doing hemp, you have to pick the worms off, or caterpillars. So that's part of cultivation for hemp. You can't spray anything.
No
pesticides. Literally turning leaves over and pulling off, worms. They're called worms, not caterpillars, even though that's what they are. So beware of butterflies when it comes to your hemp. But cultivation is no joke, and to participate in that, it really, she enjoyed it again, and just
having a community. It was like everybody was there. We were all in the dirt together, and so I think that was the biggest part about it, like just being together, and we were all working towards the common goal. Like, no, I'm not getting paid for this. It's not about the money of it. It's about like helping other people who are like actually, like you said, putting in the work. They put in the work. So I'm here to help you, because you never know. Maybe one day I might need some help on my farm, and then I could call you like, So I think that the community aspect of it is really cool. Like how you're just like, and then I get to see their farm when they get everything set up, and then we can help with this, and what can we do to continue the dream and keep the dream alive? Like that's Miss Noreen's dream.
How can we keep Miss Noreen's dream alive?
And in the beginning, so making sure that you have the right, you are set up properly. You have your farm number. The farm number is the most important thing. If you want
that was episode number 1.
Right, farm number. Keep saying it, because they're not catching it yet. They're still doing this stuff without having the right structure in place.
Yes, you need that farm number if you want to have access to the programs that are
the subsidiaries, the programs, the grant money. That farm number is important. And when people say farm number, they're like, "Oh, we're in the city." Where, believe it or not, everything was farmland before there was cities. So, and USDA has been around since long before slavery ended. So that just shows you it's the oldest state's department. In every state, every territory, again, there's a farm number, and so don't ever think you're in a place where I don't think I have a farm number. If you finna start farming, they're gonna assign you one, a parcel number, a farm number. I forgot the other one is not the farm number, track number. So and so what else do they need foundationally? Because they be slipping here. We need our farm number.
So you need a farm number. You need your entity. Your LLC.
Entity.
Yes.
Business. Big.
Less than a minute.
These are the things that we made sure our beginner farmers had made sure they have their EIN number, their
The
bank account,
okay, bank account,
Business bank account.
business, because farming is a business.
It's a
Right.
business.
You're not using your Wells Fargo that your credit card takes. No, you have to make use your LLC and EIN number to get a bank account with that business separately.
That's
And
right.
then
And
they have to have do that. Does the bank have to have like your farm number information or anything, or is just your LLC information?
just your LLC. They don't necessarily need
Yeah.
the farm number. And I want to thank our Alexis Harris with
Harris Consulting.
Harrison Consulting.
Love her to death.
For
Alexis.
doing that.
Hey, Alexis.
For doing that portion about when we doing our webinars. We did our business webinars.
Yeah.
And our mentor farmer, and you mentioned her, Patchwork City Farms.
Yeah.
Jamila was our mentor farmers. And
Small world.
she freely gives information, tells you where to get this, the seeds, the seedlings, how to do whatever while we're helping her.
Shout out to Farmer J.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamila. So that, and it's us learning from each other, peer to peer, mentor to farmer. And,
Wow.
That's amazing.
She's really National Women in Ag, Georgia Women in Agriculture. Fosters that thing we need the most, community. I just heard it from you. I heard it from her. People coming together without getting paid. They're doing things out without expecting something in return. And I think in reality, the return that everybody gets is, oh, look, we got a harvest here. We grew something. It grew down and we didn't know what was going on. It did not break ground. It took 3 weeks. And then bam, it's here. We see it. We're coming and checking on it every 2 weeks. The whole group is coming out. We're picking out worms. We're pulling up weeds. And then all of a sudden we got something we could take out the ground to sell. Business. So I just love that. The business side, the community side, as a people, we are still struggling. Like, where is it should we be? Not saying that our black skin says we should be outside because it's not going to hurt us, but just take that in mind that, you don't have to go to college for that. You can go to college and, of course, have a actual in-office career in agriculture, but for the most part, it's a learning process,
I think that the easiest way to learn something is to hear from somebody else that already did it. the
patchwork,
Get the blueprint, because a lot of people think, I have to start from scratch. I have to, do all this research and all this. Just ask somebody how they did it, and the worst thing that they could say is no. And like Corey said last time, it's a lot of farmers who rarely are going to tell you, if you're asking them about something and how they're doing something, rarely, the people around us, we're all on the same goal. So the goal is to make the world a better place. We don't want to keep getting our food from these people who are poisoning us. Literally
processing the food.
Us. We don't, the GMOs, the pesticides,
the glutens,
the I don't know if Pfizer gonna inject some in the tomatoes. We want to get it from the people who we know grew it, and so that's the benefit on the back end. It's not just about the money; it's about we're making the world a better place. We're making for our children. I know my children are going to be able to be healthy and live a healthy lifestyle because they have access to local organic foods. We don't want them to be sick because of what they're ingesting, but I know that I'm contributing to that future if I'm sitting here helping on a farm that is, in my area, in my community. And so that's such a big thing. That's just big to me. That's what legacy is about. I'm saving the world now just by helping my brother, my sister, and we're not related, but we're all a family when we're all in this agriculture thing together. Nobody's alone.
And this is why we had this young mind who doesn't mind working with people, who understands, and not saying that because we're older that we don't, we just had a lot of restraints and things that kept us in a box, and not even just capitalism, which says I get mine, you get yours, but we didn't have nothing, and we still was trying to hold on to a corner when we could just have more if we brought others in. And so I just like this agriculture work, how it is causing us to work together more in communities. That means I'm not related to her, and I'm going to come and still help her. So, it's just amazing how, just this agriculture world has evolved into a place where now we can do more for our children, as far as their health is concerned. It's amazing how a chemical imbalance can cause you to have emotions and mood swings because you're not eating right.
Red number 5, they just the FDA just banned it. Like, it literally causes like mental illness in these kids, and you're sitting here wondering why they're bouncing off the wall, screaming, yelling, all these things. It's because they're eating hot Cheetos for breakfast.
Yeah, it's their diet. I don't remember. We had Corey Daniels on here, and Corey McNair, and we had him on here, and he literally was working with a community, and a little girl was coming in the corner store. They had set up the farmer's market on the outside of the corner store. And she said her lunch was red pop and hot Cheetos. Mm-hmm. And that's what she was eating. So she would come and get fresh food from them. And in 2 weeks, she was back in school. Literally. So he didn't see her no more at lunchtime because she just started back in school. It's amazing what fresh food will do for you. We don't realize how malnutrition our children are, that they're not eating right. If they go to school, we like, oh, they're getting school lunch and breakfast, but not if they don't eat it. Not if they're just looking at it or pick a piece, and so we're assuming that they're getting everything they need in their nutrition. They may get one good meal a day if they go home and their mamas is actually cooking and not, and this is no knock against single parents or having both parents. Literally, sometimes no one can come home and eat, and so the kids is busy. Yeah, they might be eating noodles at night. I don't know how many children is ramen noodle ready, and so just those things. This is why it's so important that we have people like Noreen Whitehead, who is spearheading, helping our community rise to a better level, healthy, mentally, career, financially. Thank you again so much, Noreen.
We just love that it's Black women too. Like, let's put that elephant in the room. But yes, you're helping Black women do great things, and that to me is everything.
National Women in Ag is a Black Girl Magic organization. Also, is there any specific moments or projects that you feel especially proud of, Noreen, that you would like to share with us?
Well, I did want to, everyone that completed the beginner farm program with us received a certificate of training.
That's good.
And so that they can build upon.
Mm-hmm.
So they can build upon.
Wow, this is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, certificate of training.
Certificate of training.
Okay, because people are always saying, where do I go? How am I going to figure it out? And so you all have a beginning farmer rancher development program. And if you complete it, it means no procrastination. You showed up. Okay, then yes. Then you will definitely can receive a certificate of training. So that's awesome.
For your dedication and commitment to learning how to manage the soil to produce vegetable crops and prepare your farm for agribusiness. Stamped by the USDA and Noreen S. Whitehead and Fort Valley State University Cooperative Extension Office, Dr. James Brown.
The Dr. James Brown. So we do love him over at Fort Valley. So tell us about this.
Yes, and this particular one is our cattle farmer, and she was able to go through the program and learn to grow.
That's 2 years. That's 2022 to 2024. That's only 2 years, right?
Right. So we started in 21. Some went for 3 years, some went for 2,
Okay.
some went for
Wow.
1 year.
That's less than my college degree.
And then when you actually go into USDA and they tell you that beginner rancher is 10 years, and that is because it takes time. The only thing,
Yes.
and maybe that's why you don't have to go to college, because you do have to spend some years in the dirt before we could even say, hey, what's the next steps? So yeah, we love this. Beginner farmer rancher, she's gonna take out 2 of them years, 3 of them years for you.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And,
What we got?
so this is a kind of like a placard that each one of our farmers, I made for each one of our farmers.
Okay, cool.
Our urban farms.
That art kicks in.
Yes, I loved her farm because she's in the backyard, right?
In the backyard.
In the backyard. Okay.
Wow.
And she grows vertically as well as in the ground.
Wow.
And
We were talking about
doing hydroponics.
Last week.
Yes,
So
and that's our
Shout
urban
out to
farm.
our urban farms.
Yeah, that's Miss Ina.
Miss Ina.
Yes.
Urban farm.
It's like this, like now I'm like I just saw me some chickens running around. What Rick Ross said. Houses of chickens.
Yes.
This was us measuring out the plastic to put on a high tunnel.
Wow. And how tall was it? It was like 30 foot, 40 foot?
Yes. You have to be accurate. You have to
Measure
out.
twice, cut once.
Yes. Okay.
Make sure that you
Oh, cool.
and this is on the Williams farm. So
Okay.
we went out to
You can do this.
We went out to assist one of our farmers who was growing onions.
I was gonna say that looked like green onion right there. I got some down
I
my
was
bag.
tasked to cut off the top of the green.
Yeah.
Not to full, but just cut the top off.
Ow.
Yeah, because once you cut it, it grows back up by itself. You don't have to replant the onion.
Exactly.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
But
Okay.
no, I
Yes.
literally, like I said, I put a cut onion in the little planter box that I had just sitting on the side of my kitchen, and it literally just started sprouting. And so, boom.
That's what comes naturally.
You
Thank God we didn't have to
get no
create the
onion
seed.
Right. I didn't have to get no onion seed. I just got a regular onion and regrew it like that. And so,
Yeah, and God did that. Just in case if anybody's wondering, He made it where when you put the seed in the ground, it just knows what to do. You know, and so how hard is that? Well, you got to learn. Like God is doing something chemically and planning that you are trying to figure out with your eyes and hands and ears, and that takes time. You know, you have to put your hands in the dirt. Yes. Fun fact: penicillin comes from the soil. Very first antibiotic that people came up with to stop diseases going on in your body, right out the soil. So if you do know some farmers and you wonder why they 90 and 100 years old, because they're breathing in natural remedies. So we really got to get back to just digging in the soil again. It's going to help our lives. That was awesome, Noreen. Anybody else or anything else, moments you want to share with us? Because that was great. We love to hear that.
I just want to say that we were taken away from the soil and taken away from the fact that we used to grow our own food. And when we moved to the cities, trying to get away from, problems and issues. And so we no longer planted in the soil. And we go into the store for everything. And so now everybody is thinking everything comes from the store, even the children. So we have to teach the children where food really comes from. It does not come from the store, because that's what they, that's all they know. So we teach from the little ones growing up.
Wow.
Our national office has a child care center, and babies,
Wow.
the little babies on up. So we're hoping to get one here.
Okay. That'll be awesome.
Okay. Do you have any more like goals or visions for the future of like women in ag and agriculture in general?
I would like to see us have our own facility, our own actual structure building. So
Mhm.
that is a goal that
We're gonna put it in existence that it's
yes,
done.
yes.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's done.
The building is here.
Because
Yes.
we're
Georgia
doing
Women
the
Ag
work.
chapter is
You
done.
doing the work.
Doing the work.
That's
It
all.
should come.
You got the faith. You got the work. It's done.
It's done. And we
That's
definitely
done.
believe in that. Yeah, we cause things to be as though they were. And
That's
so we
Mhm.
are always talking about what's good for our people and how to move forward. And definitely, anybody want to donate to Georgia Women in Agriculture, they do have a website. The Georgia chapter has its own website, its own Facebook page. So you definitely can reach out there to make any donations. We take buildings. I don't know why
Yes.
people think, donations is $1. We'll take a building, we'll take a car. If you want to paint it pink, we'll be picking up people, women, all over Georgia. And so, yes, definitely that. Soil being so important, and it's so funny that you say like kids think our food comes from the grocery store, and it does, but again, getting back to those things that are who we are as a people. So earlier we were talking about how easy it is to go to a farmer to ask for help, to do a number of things. And over the years that I have been working with farmers, I realized that you cannot have a take spirit and be a farmer. You have to be a giver. All the farmers I know, black and white, are givers. They will give you the shirt off their backs because they know they got another one. And that is the spirit of giving. And so I feel like this agricultural movement is not just going to open us up as, being more community minded, more business minded, but it's going to help us to be more people minded. We're going to actually start caring about our neighbors and what happens to them, and even their health. And not saying we got to bring fresh, hot apple pies to them, but, a bag of green apples. So, we're constantly learning things.
Yeah.
Green apples is good for allergies. So if you have children that have real bad allergies, or even grown people with allergies and that sneezing can't stop, or your eyes start watering, you can actually eat green apples and they will help with the symptoms of your allergies. My son literally was eating a green apple a day because it was working. I didn't even have to tell him. He would go and get it because he knew in the morning with his sinuses and things, and that green apple works. So we really need to get back to agriculture. We really need to get back to working together. And so I'm just really excited about the work that the Georgia chapter of National Women in Agriculture is doing. The people that they're helping right here in the city. She's all over Georgia, again, in 18 different counties. But she's right here in the city, and there's about 5-10 right here in the area, and you can reach and actually get Miss Noreen Whitehead. And so we.
Yeah, she said that's what she do on the day. She said, we answer phone calls. Like, how am I supposed? I want to start my farm tomorrow. I want to start growing me some onions.
Yes, and those questions are real. And so, we just really appreciate everything. Is there anything you want to leave with us, Miss Noreen?
I want to say that you can grow anywhere. You don't have to have acres and acres and acres of land, because many people think they need a whole lot of land to grow.
Big old backyard or something.
You can just get you
Look,
an area, okay, to grow. You can even get your farm number.
Mm-hmm.
Area.
That's amazing.
So my kitchen step. We're gonna get a farm number for my kitchen step. Y'all heard you first.
Less than a quarter of an acre.
Less than a tenth.
Mm-hmm.
Less than a tenth of an acre
Mm-hmm.
is considered, if you're farming. And remember, you have to grow and sell something to be considered a farmer. You can use a Schedule F for that. If you don't actually report your information to USDA, you can, again, record it and file it with your taxes on a Schedule F. And this is another side note. I love fun facts. So if you are gardening or doing any type of farming or ranching on your property here in the city, that means it is not zoned for agriculture already. Okay, you can get your property taxes reduced based on how much of your property you are farming. And this is something that happens in business as well. So if you didn't know, if you're using square footage in your house towards your business, you can also again get those property taxes decreased. And definitely in agriculture, and again, 1/10 of an acre. So that means in your pots, on the side of your kitchen, there's a lot of different things. But if you actually got like, an acre is like a football field. So you may have like a 1/4 acre. You live on an acre, you got like a 1/4 acre, you feel me, that you're gardening on, then we can reduce your property taxes by a whole 25%. So just keep that in mind. The benefits again to agriculture. Plant you some seeds.
Call Miss Noreen and say, "Hey, Miss Noreen, somebody got some seeds coming to get my property taxes due." That's the next phone call.
That's the next phone call. It's call her for all of that, because again, it's just very important that we see the benefits of agriculture. Mm-hmm. Do I need a background? No, but you do eat every day, right? You got a background on eating. Have you been eating healthy? Have you been eating the wrong things? That's what we really got to look at.
And I wanted to say, since we're talking about land, many of our families have land that's just sitting doing nothing. And that's because they do not understand that they can do agribusiness, agritourism. You can open up your land to have people to come and do a variety of
concerts,
a variety of things. That is agritourism. Using your land, because a lot of farmers, they're not just growing, but they're doing other things.
Right? You don't have to just grow, to take benefits.
The little campgrounds, Airbnb, set up,
glamping. You like that one? You like that? Glamping? Yes. So agritourism is really big.
We need to utilize the land that we have.
Yeah. Next month, we're going to just focus on landowners. We're going to talk about the estate planning and definitely heirs property. Just trying to help people realize that there is money in land. Generational wealth is located in that land. It got passed down to you. And this is very important. Heirs property means somebody thought enough of you, even in their death, to give you something that you can use. Money, it gets burnt up. Land, oh my God, I can't tell you how many people who move here are buying land so they can say that they belong to America. And we turn it down, or we try to sell it off. And we should not do that. This is our country. That is our land. Can the land make you money without you even doing nothing with it? So please join us in February to find out, hey, so I don't have to keep arguing with my cousin about these taxes? No, you don't. We can figure out a way where that land is paying for itself and you can argue about something else. Okay? So yes, again, thank you so much, Noreen. Next week, we're going to try to have some of those people who are involved in urban agriculture, who are doing these farms, come and talk with us, and they're going to be proteges of Noreen and the work that she's done. Beginner farmers, and we want to hear what they got to say and how they kind of got started. So that is a big deal. So that's what we'll be talking about next week. But we really, again, thank you so much, Noreen, for joining us and sharing with us. Again, we are at AgUp World, so it is a YouTube channel. So if you didn't catch us live tonight, you can play it in the morning, okay? And just listen to the information again that's out there for urban agriculture. You was like, oh, what about me? I got rain boots, okay? I got a London fog, I'm showing my age. She said, what's a London fog? It's a coat. It's a very classy cashmere coat. And so, can you get into urban agriculture? You can.
Yeah. So I wanted to say one more thing about our national office.
Okay.
They are making headway to get forever funding so that we can fund, those who want to.
Wow. Forever funding. Yeah. That's a great goal.
No,
giving you the resources, but we're giving you the money to do it. All you have to do at this point is just show up. Just show up. Just
Oh,
so, you know,
Yeah.
so we're working behind the scenes, you know, with our you know, we need to let our state legislators know so that when things are, you know, being talked about, they know how to,
Yeah.
you know, they know how to work
Yeah.
with it.
I do have to applaud Tammy, who is the National Women in Ag president. She is an advocate for women in agriculture. She's based in where? Oklahoma.
That's
She
where
is
the headquarters.
constantly at Washington, D.C., in the president's face, in legislature, everybody all the time, so that she could advance us forward. And she is now even pressing right now so that she can have forever money. So we really appreciate Tammy and all her hard work. Please tell her I said that, because she knows I don't get to reach out to her as much as I would like. But again, the work that they're doing, advocacy. We all had an opportunity to be advocates for what we believe in. Show up. You know, is that a big deal? Yeah. You want to really have an impact? Send an email. Okay.
Look,
Documentation is very key. Black and white. Send an email.
City council meetings, people taking notes.
Correspondence. That's what that is. And yes, you are a constituent. Do I need to get the dictionary out? Okay, you are a constituent. That means you vote,
taxes.
you pay taxes, and they have to respond to you. If you show up down there, we live right here in Atlanta. When we tell you ain't nobody hardly at the Capitol until those, certain days, and everybody want to flood, but they have ag committee meetings, industry, trade, whatever, your passion is, show up. Be an advocate on somebody else's behalf. As we learn about community and working together, Tammy did an excellent job of literally saying, where are you in the United States? Do you need some help? Do you need some support? Here's my nonprofit. We're here for you. So it's starting, it's a catalyst. Internationally, what, Tammy? What you mean internationally? Tell us about that. National Women in Ag is no longer national.
We have chapters in Africa.
Chapters in Africa. Okay. Now it's plenty of people in plenty of Africans right here in America. And we do have some subscribers in Africa as well. So guess what that means? While you're in Africa, you can still find the National Women in Ag Association that will help you. We just assume because you're in Africa that you know how to farm. That's not true. If we didn't have George Washington Carver, who taught us about crop rotation, how to save the soil, value-added products, because of that is the main reason we are so far advanced in agriculture that we are. So yes, we're definitely sending all of our help and resources to Africa so that they can learn from us as well. We are a community. So that is awesome. And I applaud you, Tammy. Even across the ocean, we're coming together.
That's right.
I'm excited about that because y'all know apparently they just dropped a new season of Baddies. I don't watch that show, and it just pains my heart to see that that's being pushed in the motherland, and I'm like, this gives me hope. They got Baddies everywhere, but we got National Women of Agriculture.
In Africa.
We're fighting against the
ignorance. Ignorance.
The ignorance.
Did I make that up? The ignorance that is traveling overseas.
Oh no! Don't let it go. Okay, but yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank the both of you for inviting the Georgia chapter of the National Women in Agriculture.
Cool.
We love it.
We'll be back with the beginner farmers.
Yes, soon. Okay, and I just the Beginner Farmer Rancher Development Program. Again, if you want to get into that, definitely reach out to the Georgia Women in Agriculture. They have a website, and they also have a Facebook page presence. And so you definitely can find them right here in Georgia, and get in those programs. She talked about ag discovery, for our youth, 7th and 12th grade. And so they have a number of things out there in agriculture open your kids' minds. Can they do engineering? Can they do IT? They can do that and agriculture. Okay, so that is a really big deal. Thank you again, Noreen, so much. And yeah, we're ready to transition. You could throw her picture up there and her logo again, because we sure do appreciate her. And I want to give a shout out again, because I keep forgetting to do this. Daniel Fitch. I don't have a picture of him. We're going to make sure we get a picture of him next time, so we can throw that up there.
Natural Leaders Media.
Natural Leaders Media. And he also has a website. He is helping us, again, get through this.
Production.
Yeah, and it's not easy. I don't know what people was thinking. Let me get a light and go, so nothing like that. But we definitely appreciate you. We appreciate you, Daniel. So thank you again. All right, we transitioning. We're just going to go over a few other things with you guys real quick. And you are free.
Can you see my phone right there?
Okay.
Can you take a picture of me?
Oh yeah, we got to take pictures too. Yeah. Okay. I need my running show. Okay. Where am I? Okay.
It's full.
It's full. We're gonna get that picture before you go to Miss Noreen. We sure appreciate
I
you.
have another one. This one's not.
All right, so yeah, upcoming opportunities. What's next? We're on. Bam.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Hey,
How y'all doing? Thank you so much again, everybody, for joining us. I know it may seem like a long broadcast, but again, this is information. If you're a TikTok, Instagram person, and you like stuff real quick, then that might work for you. Others who need a little time, need some little bit of explanation, somebody go over the definitions. That is what AgUp World is about. We're not going to just give you a spoonful. We're going to give you the whole plate. Okay?
The whole meal.
So yeah, just talking about upcoming opportunities. The Urban Ag Innovation Production Grants is due March 10th. Okay, March 10th, okay, is the Urban Ag Innovation Production Grant. Okay, that is due March 10th. What is that about? It is it covers 3 years as well, and it is either a planning grant. Okay, you can either do the planning or it's an execution where you are actually carrying out the grant. So you have 2 different ways to apply. Please follow us this week. Sometime I'm going to walk through that whole application line by line just to make sure that you guys understand what you need. Get ready, right? It's all about business. When we say grants and loans, it's no different if you went to a bank to get a loan. If you go to the government to get a grant, you're going to still need the same documents. I don't know how people think that, grant means I don't have to have documents. That's not what that means. So we're definitely going to walk through the whole line by line of the Urban Agriculture and Innovation Production Grant. Okay, we're going to walk through that just to guarantee that everybody understands what they need to do for that. Who does that apply to? Anybody who is in an area in the United States of America or any territories. Okay, that is, and where you live is over 50,000 population. Okay, the census just came out. So if your area is over 50,000 people, then it is considered urban, and that you can apply for this grant to assist you. And we may be able to get an arena building with this thing. We're going to look into it and see what we can do about, again, this grant. But if you are interested in some free money and help with how to get prepared, then stay tuned. This week I will be going through that whole UAIP grant from top to bottom. Okay. And let's talk about the South. Okay, Noreen called it the SOWIT.
SOWIT conference.
The SOWIT conference.
2025, February 4th through the 6th. it is going to be held at the Georgia World Congress Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see what we all have featured. It is a 3-day event bringing together over 1,000 farmers, ranchers, producers, and advocates for agriculture.
Okay.
It is going to be committed to fostering a sustainable agricultural movement across the southern United States. It is going to be hosted by Georgia Organics. And there'll be networking opportunities. You can connect with professionals from the 13 southern states, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Education sessions where you can participate in over 100 sessions covering practical and innovative topics designed to promote producer health, equity, climate resilience, and community partnerships. Also, there will be some keynote panel discussions where you can gain insights from distinguished speakers, including topics designed to promote producer health, equity, climate, and resilience. Oh, no, that's not what I meant to say.
Talk about Pharmacy Stanley.
Pharmacy Stanley, the founder
one of
and
the keynote
CEO
panel discussion people.
of Green Heifer. Does that say Green Heifer Farms? That is that's Green Heifer Farms.
That is
okay. And he's a notable panelist for our keynote speakers.
Yeah.
They'll also be giving farm tours and workshops by our peers and giving farm tours so you can explore different sustainable farming practices and community food solutions. Again, Ms. Noreen was like, oh, y'all know, y'all got to be here. If you're trying to see about farming, you need to show up. You need to get this information, see what you can see, expose yourself to the agriculture, world.
Yeah, and they're doing more and more. Georgia Organics, they hadn't been around that long, and definitely, again, this particular conference, everybody is trying to expose you to agriculture. They're saying, hey, even organic means there's no pesticides, no synthetic fertilizers. And so for that reason, everybody needs to know what it is to be farming. How do you even know if you're interested unless you actually expose yourself? It's not just slavery, back in the day, slavery. Yeah, but people fingers hurting from the cotton. And you had to pick 100 pounds on your back.
We're talking about climate change. We're trying to bring the South together so we can have a bigger impact. What they say on Mufasa, Rafiki was like, one stick will smoke, but when you have a whole pile of sticks, that's how you make a fire.
Okay, one stick of smoke. Okay, but a whole group can cause a fire. So, and this is a really important event. It is not free. I need to make sure that people understand that. And they did give out scholarships. I don't want you to think that, they're just charging this money and, so people who are in uncomfortable positions won't be able to come. Unfortunately, my podcast did not start till after scholarships ended. So, but they did give out scholarships so that people could attend. But if you got $2, don't put it toward your scratch off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to just say, what is important? Let me just get out of my everyday routine. My mother loves Murder, She Wrote. It's on for 5 hours. Sometimes, she actually has to stop and not watch Murder, She Wrote. I think it may be upsetting her a little bit, but that's courage, okay? Strength to do what you need to do and not what you want to do. So this, again, is the great... Sacrifice. Discipline. Oh my God, these words. I just I feel them.
Ooh, yeah. Give me a little chills.
So
you can volunteer.
And they are still taking volunteer applications because I will be there volunteering. Thank you so much, Noreen. And so that I don't miss any information.
That's free.
And that is free. And you can go to the website. They still, I think it's a 3-day event, February 4th through the 6th. And I know they still have openings again for people to volunteer during certain times. And if you sign up for 2 slots, you can stay the whole day. Okay. And so, so again, that
on their
is
website. You can get the registration details, volunteer information, travel arrangements. They have a full schedule already there. on the official Soul 2025 website. Again, they're just talking about climate resilience, restorative agriculture, kind of what we discussed last time, technology and innovation, advocacy, anti-racism, because we're in America. So that's the moral of the story is racism.
We're in America. That's all we need to say about that. Okay. There was no end to racial
having
equity.
Different community food solutions and farm business management. So please be on the lookout for that, and we'll see you there.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the January 25th event that's coming up. That is this Saturday. Yes,
Woo-hoo.
yes. Okay. And it will be featuring Lady Felidia. She'll be actually working with a community farm. So we will be filming that live as well as we follow along with that community and see how they actually build from the ground up, how they find resources financially, people, human resources in order to carry out this community garden. And so we welcome you on January 25th. We'll be at 1991 ML King Junior Drive. And we definitely would like to see you there. If you want to learn more again about urban agriculture, we will have hydroponic displays there as well. And again, we will be doing a farm tour. So we definitely invite you to come out January 25th. Now that's just one event, and we're going to record ours live, but please go to Eventbrite, go to Google. If you're interested in ag, like we tell our kids, go check it out, and see if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so thank you again, you all, so much for joining us. It was a wonderful AgUp World edition, Urban Ag, okay?
Yes. Empowering women this week, reflecting on our legacy. Also, what is your legacy? What do you feel like you're leaving behind for the rest of the world to experience and have in remembrance of you? Because here we are building our mind, body, and spirit and growing together. So let's ag up.
Ag up, okay? Growing, planting, growing, harvesting together. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and subscribe to AgUp World. Stay connected, and we will see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye. You like that? Have a good one.